guys, so today I'm going to do another podcast. This is podcast number 2. I haven't done one for a while now because I didn't want to do them too close together and not have anything to talk about, so I thought I'd wait until I thought, oh, I've got quite a few completed objects and I'll hopefully change the WIPS, but they tend to just stay there for a while, so yeah, there is some of the same WIPS. But yeah, we're going to go through everything and I'm going to just show you what I've been up to, talk to you a little bit. If you have any questions throughout the video, just leave them down below and I'll answer them, or any requests of things you would like to see in future videos, of course, leave them down below as well. So I started last podcast with a bit of a life update. My life's alright. We are into wedding planning now. We've sort of discussed what we think we'd like. We've been to a few more weddings as well, so we have some ideas of actually what could work that we'd never really thought of. So that's quite exciting. We've got next week off, so we're going to discuss it a bit further. We've got 759 days until the wedding because we have a date in mind. Nothing's booked, but that's the date that we're going for because it's our 10-year anniversary. Yeah, so we've got a countdown and it feels like a long time coming at the moment, 759 days, but I just know it's going to go like that because already, I think when I first started the countdown, because we got a little chalk thing that my brother and sister-in-law got us when we got engaged, it's already gone down by like a month, and that's like crazy. So yeah, it's ticking by and it's going to go really quickly, so I want to get some stuff sorted because I'm a very organised person, because if I'm not organised, I get overwhelmed. So especially with this, I was like, let's get in there early, let's get everything sorted, and then we can do all the sort of little bits and try and have fun with it a little bit rather than being stressed out because all the big stuff isn't sorted. So that's sort of a wedding update. Wedding dress update. You probably seen in a past video that I've started my wedding dress, or test pieces for the wedding dress, to try and find a good pattern. Because I'm not using a pattern from someone else, I'm going to create it myself. So I've been sort of playing around with some ideas, using a few different, I used an Erin Rico, I think, an Erin B pattern just to get like the neckline, and that worked really well, so I'm going to show you that in my finished objects soon. But yeah, so next step will be, I want to try and do like a longer version, so like a whole body one, and also test out beading. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be a YouTube series. So I've got episode 1 out, which is the first test piece, which went really well and I'm really happy with it. And then the next one's going to be test piece number 2, and also some playing around with the beading, and then sort of finalising the idea and getting like moving forward from there. So we shall see. I haven't filmed it yet, so I have no idea how it's going to go. But yeah, that's the plan anyway. So we'll go with the flow with that one. Another update, I have severe hay fever. I don't know about you guys, but I've been really struggling this year. I usually get bad hay fever. This has been next level. Like, I literally had to take a day off sick from work because I couldn't breathe. My head was pounding. Like, I've never felt so ill. And I think my voice still sounds funny. I also, I think it's related to the hay fever, but I've been struggling to eat. I gag at everything. And I think that's to do with like your throat and that being swollen and that kind of thing. That's what I've heard anyway, so it's still not gone away, so I'm hoping that come autumn or whenever hay fever finishes, I can eat again, because it's proper pain, especially as I'm trying to do a lot of gym training and running and stuff, so I need to eat, and at the moment it's just forcing myself to eat because I'm not enjoying it at all. So that's an update on that side of things. Oh yeah, I cut my hair again. So in the last one, I just rewatched a bit of it to see what projects I was making and all that stuff to make sure I don't repeat myself, and I cut my hair in the last one too, so I cut my hair again. I did these little sort of side bits and I really like it, and obviously this is just, I don't know, I had it tied up yesterday and then I pulled it down to sleep on, so it's a little bit wavy, curly, messy, but yeah, I'm really happy with this sort of like, if I pull it out, just sort of frames my face a little bit. So last time I did like shaping all the way down here. This time I was like, let's go for a more chopped off thing, and I quite like this style where you tuck it behind your ears. I think that looks kind of cute. That's an update. Did I get a new tattoo? I don't know, I don't think I had that last time. So new tattoo. This is my grandpa's handwriting, and then my grandma drew this love heart, and they always say love you gazillions. That's the story behind that, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I'm now thinking about my next one. I had a weird dream last night that Amy Lee, my like best friend at work, she was like, you need to get this tattoo. And I was like, okay, what is it? And she showed me, and it was the word bae, B-A-E. And she was so excited, and I was just there like, I don't have the heart to tell her no. I'm gonna have to get this tattoo. Oh my god, where do I get it? I need to. And she was like insisting that I used a different tattoo artist. It was honestly, what is wrong with my dreams? And then another part of my dream, I was a wizard, and I was having to fight these people, and I couldn't find my wand. And I was looking around, I was like, it's just a stick. That's not my wand. It was so stressful, honestly. So I'm a little bit, I hate it when you wake up and you think, I need to sleep again just because of the stressful dreams I had. Which realistically aren't that stressful, but that's my life, okay? Just deal with it. I also got this cute top, hence why I'm wearing it today, because it's so baggy, so comfy. I remember when I was younger, I had a baggy t-shirt with loads of flowers on. I was like, oh, I'd really like to get one of them. And I could just find ones with mushrooms on. I was like, no, that's not doing it for me. Mushrooms kind of squeak a lot, and that creeps me out. And then I found this one. I was like, ooh, I like that. That's really cute. And it's really comfy. So this is like one of those baggy, comfy tops that you can wear when it's really hot. Yeah. Oh, and that face mask. Isn't that cute? I was like, I'm just going to pop that there to make it look neater, because it was just on the side, and actually I quite like that. I got them for me and my best friend Hannah when we had a little slumber party evening where we just nattered the whole time. It just makes me smile because it reminds me of those memories. Oh, itchy. Like, do you guys get itchy neck when you've got hay fever? Because like, it just itches on the outside as well as the inside. Okay, I think that is the life update done. If you have any questions, give me a shout down below, or you can follow me on Instagram and we can talk on there, because I quite like building a community and getting to know people from all across the world who share similar interests to me, and we can just talk about stuff that I can't really talk about to other people that are in my life because they're not interested. Okay, I've made a list of the order that I'm going to talk in, just to keep it consistent with my other one. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is my finished objects. I'm not going to do these in order because I just don't have the brain power for that this morning. I guess I could sort of do them all, and I do know the order of these. I'm just being dramatic. Okay, right. So first one is this hat. This is a scrap yarn beanie hat that I made. I will link the pattern down below. I think it's Erin B again. So I'm part of the Creatives Club at Canterbury Christchurch University, and every, like the first Thursday of every month, they have a meetup where we just go, we craft and we chat. So that evening I was like, right, or that morning I was like, right, what shall I take to make with me? And they've actually got a charity thing coming up in September where they are, I think it's like a raffle and you can win hats. So I'm making some hats for that. I've previously made this one, which I don't know if I showed in my last podcast, but this is the previous one that I made, which I thought was quite cool. I was really annoyed. I started off red and I was like, oh, I love this. And then I ran out of red, so I was like, let's just go grey, because it's the same thickness, the same yarn. And then I found more red when I finished it, but it's quite cool, it's quite unique. It sort of reminds me of Harley Quinn type vibes. So that's that one, really thick. And then I did this one in DK with just my scraps, and I really love it. So yeah, I will be giving them to the club to sell for charity in September. So I'm excited for that. So the next one that I made, which you can watch the video, I will link it down below and up above. And yeah, basically this is the sample of my wedding dress, or the neckline for the wedding dress that I've just made into a cute top. With all of these, I'm not going to try anything on now because it is so hot. But I will put pictures up to the side so that you can see it on me as well. So if I scooch over for this bit, so this is the top. So I was testing out this scoop neckline, and I'll put a photo here of me wearing it, and I'm absolutely obsessed. I used cotton yarn for this one because I wanted it to be sort of lightweight, cool for the summer, because we're hopefully getting married in August, not this year, in 2025. So I wouldn't want an acrylic dress, I'd want a cotton one. But yeah, so this is the test piece. Erin B again, I believe. I'll link it all down below. She's just got some really good simple patterns and really easy to follow. So that's that one, and later on I'll show you my acquisitions where I've purchased some white cotton. And any questions, leave them down below. So that is finished item number 2. And now finished item number 3 again is a video, so I will link that down below as well. I basically, when we got engaged in Feb, we go charity shopping wherever we go. So we were in Cornwall, we went to the charity shops, and I found a really cute cardigan which was absolutely massive. I'm 5'3", and it like almost was down to, well, being dramatic, it was very long on me. It wasn't down to my ankles, it was very long, and it didn't flatten my body shape or anything. But I really liked the yarn because it's this really nice multi-tone sort of, what's it called, sort of green, dark green, flecks of white and turquoise, and it's really nice. So I basically changed that, which was here, so this is the before, into this, which is so cute. Again, I'll put a picture of me wearing it here, and I did like a little pattern at the bottom, so at the bottom of the sleeves and the bottom of the top, which I've never done before, but I've been wanting to do. So you can see I just sort of had a play with missing out stitches to create patterns. There you go, you can see it better if it's just one side. Yeah, so that's just something I was like, well, if I'm going to make a basic jumper, I might as well add a little bit of detail at the bottom, and also just learn a new skill. So I'm really happy with that. I'm a bit annoyed, not annoyed, but like a bit disappointed because the fabric is a little bit itchy, where I think it's a little bit of wool in there, but I haven't washed it yet and I haven't blocked it, so so I'm hoping that when I wash it, it won't be as itchy. But obviously I haven't been able to wear it at all because it's so hot, but come autumn, this is going to be like a huge one that I'm going to wear all the time because it's so cozy, and I feel like I've finally mastered the jumper and the right shape for my body and the way I want it to sit, so I'm really happy with that. And because of that, I then had the confidence to start the Wesley sweater, which I've been meaning to do for years. I don't know if it's years, a long time. And I've been putting it off for a very long time now because I've been quite daunted by doing the E. So obviously this is a test piece that I did back in Christmas 2022, and I was like, okay, I did it, that's cool. And then it was sort of daunting to think, so now I need to do this, but in the middle of a panel to then create a jumper, and it needs to be exactly in the right position. I was just like, this is too much. How am I going to do this? I'm not skilled enough. And I just, so much self-doubt when I didn't need to be self-doubting myself. Just doubting myself. I need another coffee. So yeah, hence why I put it off for a very long time. And then I just sort of bit the bullet. I can't remember what, I think it was just making that jumper. I was like, okay, I can make a jumper. If I can make a jumper and I can do this, I can put them both together and we can do this Wesley jumper. Because I really wanted to have it done and ready to wear this autumn. And it is now beginning of July. So I have plenty of time, but I thought it was going to take me months to do, and it actually took me like a week and a half, which is pretty crazy. But I did put all of my energy into it, so I wasn't I was making an effort to make it, and I also made a video about it, so that comes out as I'm filming this Thursday, tomorrow. So that will be up by the time this comes out, so check that out. I'll link it down below and up above, wherever. But yeah, basically me just making it. I didn't do it like a tutorial, I did it more of a, come try and make this jumper with me and we'll see what happens. And it worked, which you're going to see in a second. So if you want to watch that, please do, because I really enjoyed filming it and I'm quite proud of it as well. One thing I will say is that I need to get a tripod for my camera or my phone. I've got a little one which you're on now and you're hooked onto a chair. And then I have a big one that I used to use for my camera, but that I've got the projector on downstairs and I just cannot be bothered to move the projector because it's like perfectly set up. So I think I'm gonna buy one of them this month. Just like a nice tripod that's big that I can literally stand up anywhere rather than using my little one to like hook it onto different things to film. Can't remember why. Oh, I was saying that because in the previous video I did what I thought was a really cool shot where it's literally looking down at me, so you can see me working on the jumper and sort of like a time lapse of the E coming together. And for that we have a coffee table, and then on top of the coffee table I had to put a mini coffee table and then my tripod and it was right palaver, but it was worth it for the shot. But I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm just going to buy a proper tripod and it would be so much easier rather than me being like, movie tape, I need this, because it's just so stupid. It's just one of those things that you put off for no reason, and then you're like, why didn't I just get one in the first place? So without further ado, I'm going to show you the jumper, which honestly I think is my most proud make so far, because it shows me how far I've come and my skills, how much they've developed, and I really want to make a dinosaur jumper now. it backwards for you. You see? Ta-da! Now it is this beautiful tweed, that is Hayfield Bonus Aran Tweed, 20% wool blend, and it is so pretty. It was about £14 for 400g ball, but look at the colours on that. Wow, let me focus you. Oh my god, that did not, no, focus on me again, please. Good? Okay. Yeah, so this is absolutely beautiful in my opinion. There we go. So you can see I've got the E exactly in the middle, which is a bloody miracle. There are bits with crochet where the stitches don't go, they're sort of staggered. So one row will be like that, and then the next will be like a bit like bricks, I guess. So the E isn't completely, like there's little holes in it, as you can see like here. But that doesn't bother me, I don't mind that. But I could in future then sort of sew over the top to fill it in, which I could do, but I'm not fussed at the moment. I'll see how I feel when I'm wearing it in autumn. But I'm just so proud of it, and using that pattern before, I have now in my mind, I have written down, which I'm going to save in a folder, is how to make the perfect jumper for my body type and shape and size. So really happy with that. That just means that I've got a base pattern to use for any future jumpers that I want to do. My partner and my dad both now want one of these jumpers, so I'll see how I go, but it's just the wool's very expensive. So I said, if you guys can buy me the yarn, then yes, I will make you the jumpers. But I think I used, where's the ball gone? So I need to weigh this. These were 400 each, and I had 2 of them, so I've used 1 and a bit. So that's like £14 per ball, but then that I'm very small, so for them it's probably more on 2 balls, so about 30 quid for a jumper, which is fine. But then if I'm making 2, that's gonna be about 60 quid, and then it all adds up. So I said, if you guys buy me the yarn, I will make you the jumpers, but it's just so smishy. And then also this comes in loads of different colours, so if they wanted, I just went for the one that looks a little bit like Ron's one, and also I just really liked these colours. But there's like a really nice blue, really nice green, and then, so yeah, I think I do really want to make them jumpers. I guess maybe I could do it for their Christmas present, so they won't be surprised because I need to measure them. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Maybe you'll see in a later date video what happens with that, but that's an idea. But honestly, cannot believe I made this. I'm so proud of it. It just came out so perfect, and I really like Aran weight yarn. It's just like a little bit bigger than DK, but it just has a good feel about it. Feels a lot more substantial. So this pattern originally came from Yarnspiration, and it's this pattern, but I have altered it because they use a different stitch styles. The only thing I've used from this pattern actually is learning how to shape the armholes. So decreasing and then doing this bit, and also the neck. That's all I've taken from this one. And then from that I've just done a back panel which is identical, apart from there's no shaping around the neck. And then the sleeves I've just made like I usually do with my cardigans, is just make a rectangle that fits the arm gap and that is long enough for whoever's wearing it. So not really a pattern to it, it's more just learning as I go and then altering patterns that I've used in the past. But that's how I like learning. I enjoy that a lot more than following the rules. I get a bit bored. So that is my last complete object for this episode, and I think it's a pretty great one to finish on. Just how cute it is. I think I've put a picture up, but yeah, I'll keep you posted and see what we make next, because this is going to be such a cute one for winter and Christmas. It's going to be a Christmas jumper, but I'm going to wear it all year round because I love it. God, I'm so hot. Next is WIPS. So I'm going to start off with the ones that I've been whipping for ages that's still ongoing. So first one is this, which I'll put a picture here from the last one, which is a patchwork autumnal cushion. I've got loads of other autumnal cushions that I did complete, and this one for some reason I just never did, and it's been sat there. I just need to sew up all the patches, attach it to this cushion cover, and then we're done. So this is high on my priority list, and obviously it's July now, so we're coming close to it coming back around to autumn, and I'd quite like to have it done. My next one is my Harry Potter scarf that my partner got me for Christmas years and years ago, but it's knitting, hence why it's not done yet. I've done quite a lot. Let me get it out. There you go. So you can see it is quite long now. I've done quite a lot of ends to sew in, and I've got 3 more balls of this sort of burgundy colour and 1 and a small bit of the gold left. So I'm basically just going to keep going until I run out of yarn, unless it gets ridiculously long, which it shouldn't, because it's a kit literally to make this scarf, so it should be the right size, but we shall see. But yeah, I'm getting quite good at knitting from doing this. This is good practice. I feel like at the beginning, look at the beginning, there's a hole and it's just, yeah, it's not very good. Whereas now it's all quite consistent, I'd say. So I'm impressed with myself. This is sort of a project now that I pick up when I don't want to think about anything, because it is quite repetitive. Now I'm getting used to knitting. It's easy enough for me to do it without worrying about, is it knit or purl, because I can tell now, I think, which is a huge improvement, because before I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And if I stopped looking at it for 2 seconds, I'd have to unpick it, which is hard in itself. Crochet is easy enough to unpick. Knitting's not easy. If I lose, like, drop stitches, they're gone. Like, I can't get them back. But yeah, so that's ongoing. Again, hoping to finish that by Christmas, but I'm not too stressed about getting that one done, because I quite like just having it there to play with when I'm bored. Another WIP which I can't pick up because it's on the floor over there laying in its place. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video or if I'd started it in my last video. I don't think I had. I think I made this up more recently, but basically with everything that I make, I do little test pieces. So like this, which I usually just use as coasters, hence this is my coaster. But recently there's been a lot of bigger items or things that I've started. I thought, you know what, I don't really like that anymore, so I just stopped making it. So I'm turning all of those pieces into a blanket. So now I will show you the picture of it laying on the floor, and basically all I need to do now is sew it all up, hence why it's just laying on the floor. And then when I feel like it, which isn't often, because it's been like this for like a couple months on the floor, yeah, I just sew it up, and because I want it to be quite seamless, I'm sewing it up with the relevant colours, hence why it's taking a little bit longer. So I have to cut out a bit of colour, sew the relevant patches together, and then change colour, sew the relevant patches together, and that just takes me a long time for some reason. I think now I've worked on a lot of bigger projects and sewing them up, I think I might be a lot quicker at sewing these together. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm quite excited for this one, because I think it'd be a really cute blanket just to pop on the sofa. And just good memories, like all of the patches have items that are like connected to them, and I think, oh, I remember when I made that jumper, or I remember when I was doing that blanket, kind of thing. So that's really nice. I really like sort of memory blankets. So that is a WIP that I really need to get done ASAP, because it's just laying on the floor and it's kind of bothering me that it's just sat there, but not enough for me to just go and sew it together. So yeah, that and the autumnal cushion. Yeah, that and the autumnal cushion I want to get done before my next podcast, so within the next month, I'd say. And so I think my last WIP of all is this one. So I'm making a scrap yarn tote bag, which I think is quite cute. You stand up, got a little tote bag to go shopping. I use tote bags all the time now. I don't really like plastic bags. Since converting to tote bags, like cotton ones, I was like, oh my god, these are so much easier to carry, so much more pleasant to walk around with. And I thought, oh, what can I use all this scrap yarn for? And I thought, why not? And I think that's quite cool. Again, memories in it. So a lot of these scrap yarns are from my Tetris jumper, from my Cornwall blanket. You can see there's the textured ones in there. I just think it's quite unique. Like, there's literally going to be nothing like this ever again, because this is so unique and random. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to the pattern. But I really love it. I think it'd be really cute. At the moment it's the right size and sorted, but I would like to line it with cotton so that it doesn't droop, and like when I put stuff in it, I don't want it to ruin the actual crochet. So I'm going to have a look at how to do that. I think it should be quite easy. I've got a sewing machine and I can sew, but I've just never sewn and crocheted and added them together, apart from the cushions that I hand sew. But with this, I'd probably machine sew it. We'll see. It's an idea and it's something I want to do, but I do need to have a look at the logistics behind it and also making a strap. But that is, yeah, that's ongoing. I've done the crochet part. I just need to now figure out the sewing part. So any ideas on that, please give me some suggestions down below, because I could really appreciate that. And that, I believe, is all of my current WIPS. Okay, next is acquisitions. So everything I've purchased recently. Not going to be in order, just as I pick it up, I'm going to show you what I've got. Starting with a really exciting one, actually, which I've been meaning to get for ages and I keep putting it off. And I was like, why am I putting it off? Just invest in them. And they are blocking pins. I bought a pack. This is just from Amazon. It had good reviews and there are loads of pieces in there. Oh, you even get a tape measure. Nice. I love a good tape measure. Yeah, but there you can see how many pins there are. So I'm very excited to get using them. I want to try and block some of my items, so especially the jumpers that I've just made, because some of them are a little bit stiff and I feel like if I block them, supposedly they're supposed to drape a little bit nicer. Never done it, very nervous. Probably film it and show you guys. So yeah, that'll be upcoming, so subscribe if you want to see that, because that will be coming in the next month or so. I really need to make myself do it, because it's again something I'm going to put off for a while. But yeah, so I invested in these and I have no idea if they're any good yet, so I can't recommend, because I literally haven't even taken the plastic off because they've just been sat there. And obviously to go with that, I had to get blocking pads. I don't know if that's what they're called. I basically just went on Facebook Marketplace, found someone who worked at my uni, and they were selling some kids foam block things. It's like puzzle pieces, and people online have been using this stuff too, and they say, yeah, they work fine, no problem. So what I'll do is I just give them a wipe down, clean them up, which they actually look in really good condition, and use them instead, because I was looking at these, like the proper foam pad things on Amazon, and they were like £20 for 4 or something stupid. I was like, oh, I can't really afford £20, whereas this was £3 for all of these. So it was a no-brainer for me. I was like, well, I might as well try it on these £3 ones. I can't see how they differ from the £20 ones, apart from these are funky colours. The other ones were just black, but I prefer colour. So yeah, we'll see. But that is, yeah, now I've got everything for it, I just need to start. So yeah, like I said, subscribe, because that should be a future video whenever I get the courage to do it. There isn't too many acquisitions this time. But one of the big ones was, for ages I've been looking for cotton white yarn to make my wedding dress with. And I couldn't find any, apart from like really expensive, and you could only buy like one ball at one time. And I was like, oh, this is, you know, if I'm going to make our wedding dress, this is going to be really expensive. I don't know if I can afford it at the moment, obviously. And then eventually I found these ones, I think on Amazon, which was a pack of 5 for £9. There you go. And it is literally just white cotton. So it is 80% recycled cotton, 20% recycled polyester. I haven't actually touched these yet. Oh. So they're not soft. Does it feel the same? No. So this is cotton that I bought before, which I bought by accident. I thought it was acrylic, and then it came, I was like, this is the only cotton yarn I've got. What can I make with this? Because I only had, you know, 2 balls of orange. But this is quite soft and still cool, whereas this is a little bit more rough and cool. But I have no problem with it being a little bit rough. We'll see. Feels okay. I don't know how it will work up, but essentially I'm going to use this for a test patch to test the beads on. I think I showed you on my previous podcast, but I bought these beads. So we've got these ones. Can you see them all different shapes of beads, basically for my wedding dress, because I want to do a beaded dress. And then I thought, I can't really test the beads on orange because they would just look ridiculous. So I'm going to test it on this. So I'm going to do a little test square like I usually do, and then try beading with on top of that. And then for that I was like, do I just use white cotton yarn, like white cotton thread, to sew them on? and I wasn't sure, so I went and got invisible thread. So just to make sure that I don't want there to be lines of cotton thread all over it. I want it to look like the beads are just there. I had no idea if it's any good. People in the comments of the Amazon thing were like, I can't see it, I can't find the end, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of a good thing. Like, it's doing its job. I can see the end, it's sticking out, so just don't lose the end. And that's my famous last words, because I'm gonna hate this. But yeah, that's exciting, coming in a future video. Subscribe for that. And if you haven't seen the first episode where I use this to do my first test piece, check that out too. And then obviously episode 2 will be coming in the next month or 2. I feel like I said 2 a lot just then. And then I went to Faversham the other day, probably last month, and I always go in the charity shops and look at their yarn and look at their crafty bits and see if they've got anything, because usually it's quite cheap. And I found these. They're eyes. Ooh. Oh, I love them. But yeah, they're basically just toy eyes. So if I wanted to make like a crochet stuffed animal, they are basically these, which I actually have these ones. There we go. I also bought brown, which are really cute. So I've got one black and white and one brown. And I thought they were really cute. I haven't got any plans to make any crochet animals or toys or anything yet, but I thought for 50p per bag, and I've got loads of them in there, I might as well just keep them in my drawer until the time comes, because I reckon they'll be not too expensive online. But this is the kind of thing that I'm like, well, just buy it second hand when you find it, because it's 50p, and then you'll have it in future dates if you want to make that stuff. So yeah, no plans for it at the moment, but leave any like patterns down below if there's any good recommendations for some toys that I could add these to, crochet preferably. And then I went into a yarn shop in Faversham, and I could only find one yarn shop. I don't know if there's more, or if I was just being lazy and didn't properly explore. And it was just heaven in there. Like, she had so much yarn and so many pretty colours and textures and everything. And I'd already said I'm on a yarn buying ban since my last stash clear out. Like, I have so much yarn, I don't need to buy more, unless it's for a specific project like the wedding dress where I need to buy a specific type of yarn. And I went in there and I was just chatting with her, and it was really nice to meet her. And I was tempted by so many yarns and so many different colours. And then I was just about to leave, and then I saw like a bargain bucket, and I was like, wow, I'll have a rummage, because they're all £1 each. I was like, wow, can't really afford not to get them. And I found this pink, which I just thought was the most beautiful pink ever. And I said, yeah, I'll have it, £1. I need that, because although I have no intentions specifically for it, I just love the colour and I couldn't leave without it. So, and it's really soft. So it is James C. Brett DK, 100% acrylic, and it is really soft, really smushy, and it is DK. So all of my other yarn is DK, so it's not like anything crazy that I can't put with other stuff. But yeah, I feel like it would make a really cute flower as well. But that is my last acquisition, I believe. I don't think I've bought anything else, because I am on a yarn buying ban. I'm trying to be good with money at the moment, because I've spent a lot recently. So yeah, maybe in the next video I might have a lot more acquisitions, but equally I'd rather have more finished projects and WIPS on the go, because I have so much yarn in stock anyway. Okay, items that I'm planning to make next. Since making my Wesley sweater, I've been feeling a little bit lost of what to do, because that was such a huge one in my mind for so long, and I finished it really quickly, so I was fully expecting this to be an ongoing project for like a month or so. And then when I finished it, I was like, I haven't even had a chance to crave to make anything else. Usually when you're like making a jumper, you get halfway through and you think, oh, I really want to make this, or I really want to make that. I didn't get to that point because it was just so quick. So I guess my goals at the moment, finish my WIPS. What I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 WIPS. And I said last time maximum of 3, so I'm failing at that, which shame on me. My friend did call me out on that actually. So good for her. I'm glad that I did say please call me out, because it's not good. So yeah, biggest goal at the moment is to get my WIPS done, apart from the scarf, which I'm happy to leave that as an ongoing WIP for a while. Things I want to make, definitely some trousers. Obviously at the moment there's no way I could wear trousers, but I wore an outfit the other day, which I'll put here, which is obviously rainbow top, rainbow cardigan, and then I just had some sweatpants on, and I thought, how cool would it be to then have rainbow granny square trousers? Like, I feel like that would finish the outfit off. And I was talking to someone on Instagram who also has a YouTube channel, so I'll link her down below because she's awesome. And she was just like, love this outfit, and I was just like, I just want to make some trousers too. And yeah, it was just nice to talk to her about it. And so that is a goal of mine, is to do some trousers. But at the moment, I think maybe I'll do that in the autumn, but I really want to make a bookmark, so I'm really into reading at the moment, thanks to my best friend Hannah, because she's just evolved my granniness even more, because I have all the granny hobbies possible now, and I read, so that's pretty cool. I never used to read because I struggle with concentration, but it turns out that if I find a good book, I can get hooked on it. I have my blue overlay as well to keep it, because I struggle with reading because of dyslexia and everything moves, whereas when I have the blue screen on, it sort of stops everything moving so much. And that was a big reason as to why I was struggling to read and keep focused, because it was just so much effort to do that. So that's awesome. And yeah, so I've been buying a lot of books. So really in my acquisitions, nothing to do with crochet, I bought a lot of books recently because, I don't know, it's 2 collections that I've been building at the moment is yarn. So absolute yarn hoarder. And now I'm a book hoarder too. So I just need a room. So this is my room that I use because no one else comes up here. I've got all my yarn here. I want a whole wall of books, like heaven, absolute heaven. And yeah, so I read a lot, so I'd really like to make a nice bookmark. I've also seen quite a cool one where it's like a triangle and you pop it, so it's like a triangle that's open like that, and you pop it on the edge of the pages to then mark what page you're on. So I quite like that. Yeah, so I might make a bookmark. I made my friend one and saw she was using it the other day, and that made me really happy. I think that's about it for things I want to make at the moment. I haven't seen too much online. I haven't really been that inspired by anything recently. Like, I used to have like, oh, I really want to make that. Oh my god, that's so cool. But I haven't seen anything recently. So I don't know if I'm trying to stay off my phone a bit more, but also maybe I'm just not looking at the right content to then find inspiration. And I'm not actively looking for inspiration. Usually it just comes and I see it and I'm like, yeah, that's the one. So at the moment, I think I'm just going to focus on my current WIPS, and something will naturally appear in my mind that yes, that's my next make. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think that's everything I wanted to talk to you guys about today. If there's any questions, leave them down below. Subscribe because there'll be more, and there is also of the previous videos that you should check out if you're into crochet, because I've done quite a few now. And this channel is definitely, I think, just going to stay in the crochet field, to be honest. I might do some hauls, but I'm just filming what I enjoy, and it is crochet at the moment. And apart from that, I've been just enjoying reading and being in the garden and just sort of switching off. So not being on Instagram all the time, not being on Facebook all the time, just sort of leaving my phone on the side. Okay, I will see you guys in a future video or in a past one. So please do check out my past videos, and please subscribe and like and all that stuff, because it really helps build my channel. I think I'm at like 815 subscribers or something now, so I'd really like to get to 1,000 at some point in my life. But yeah, the closer I get to 1,000 before the end of the year, the more awesome that would be. So if you do like it, please do subscribe. If you have anyone you think might like it that's into crochet, send it to them and spread the word, because I'd really like to chat with you guys down below as well and get ideas and just talk craft, because there's not many people that I can talk to about this stuff that is actually in my life. So finding people on the internet, which sounds really weird, to talk to about crocheting, about crafting, about just, I don't know, this kind of thing would be really nice. So yeah, comment down below and let's chat, and find me on Instagram and I want to talk to you on Instagram, because that would be awesome. Okay, I will see you guys when I see you.